Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. I am the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, and this is my review for Death on the Nile. So, dear viewers, this particular video game released on September the 25th. And just like that beautiful bearded bastard Barry Bertrum, you're probably wondering,
what is this?
Death on the Nile is a video game adaptation of a novel penned by that oh-so-famous author Agatha Christie, all the way back in 1937. A year that had worse bathrooms than we have now. This is essentially one of those murder mystery point-and-click type of video games, starring Hercule Poirot as a peaceful cruise aboard the River Nile is disrupted by a terrible crime. So let's review this murder mystery video game the only way I know how. Badly. And let's start with what I absolutely loved about Death on the Nile. I'm a massive Agatha Christie fanboy. I've seen every single episode of the Poirot television show. I've probably seen all of the movie versions. I played several video games starring that talented Belgian bastard. But yet somehow, this game, which is an adaptation of probably one of my favorite Agatha Christie novels, somehow not only adapts that novel very faithfully, but also managed to surprise me along the way, because we not only play as Poirot in this game, we also play as another detective who has their own kind of subplot that crisscrosses with the main events of Death on the Nile. To say more would be to spoil that. But let's just say we get several chapters in which we get to play as this other detective. And none of that is part of the original novel, so everything there was completely brand new for me. What I also loved is that when you think the game is over, you know, when the murderer and or murderers have been unmasked, and you might expect the credits to roll. No, this game keeps going. There's an epilogue that presents another brand new mystery not present in the original novel or any of the movie versions. And that was also a massive surprise for me. Not only that, but depending on certain dialogue choices you make through the game, you might get one or two possible epilogues to this game. And both of them were equally as splendid. The talented bastards who made this game, Microids, also did something similar with their previous Hercule Poirot game, Murder on the Orient Express, which also featured a lot of twists and turns that weren't present in the original novel. So if you're an Agatha Christie fan and you think you know the story of Death on the Nile, well, maybe think again. I also personally really enjoy this game's visuals. In fact, it reminded me very much of the art style present in some of the early Telltale video games. You know, like Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, that kind of, is it cel-shaded, is it not cel-shaded? Also, I don't know if anyone's with me on this, but I found a lot of the character models looked quite similar to characters from that video game series Dishonored. Yes, you can see what I'm talking about, can't you? Anyway, the visuals are splendid. We get to see 1970s London. We get to see, of course, the ship that most of the action takes place on, back streets, Cairo, Mallorca, an Egyptian tomb, and all of it is absolutely marvelous. What I also really enjoyed was how this game went about allowing you to solve all the mysteries that are going on in the game, using a mix of puzzle solving with questioning suspects and finding hidden object things. And this game, like Murder on the Orient Express before it, has a whole collection of optional collectibles that you can pick up. In this game, they are golden mustaches, and as a fan of the mustache myself, I really enjoy that collectible. Maybe in the next game we can get collectible golden muffs. I would like that as well. But if you choose to do the mustache thing again, that's fine too. But yes, I very much enjoy the gameplay of this game. Lots of exploration, puzzle solving like I said, and some of these puzzles are particularly tricky. Luckily, the game does have a hint system if you need to use it. I, of course, did not. Because, well, I'm a genius. What else can I say? So I love this game, but was there anything I maybe didn't like so much in this game? Well, there was only one thing. That's right, only one teeny tiny niggle I had with the game, and that is in some of the chapters in which you play as the other detective, there are forced stealth sequences. And frankly, I hate stealth sequences. So it's not really the game developers' fault that they're in this game. They work like they're supposed to. I just don't like forced stealth sequences. But again, that's just me, very teeny tiny niggle. So if you're a fan of Agatha Christie, of murder mystery video games, then I highly recommend that you play Death on the Nile. Therefore, I declare that Microids' Death on the Nile is splendid. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, my review for Death on the Nile. If you enjoyed this little review of mine, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't enjoyed it, well then, feel free to give me a thumbs down. But please remember the single most important thing I always tell you, dear viewer, and that is to always stay obsessed with gaming. Are you still here? Oh, you must have really enjoyed this video then. In that case, you had better subscribe to the channel and check out our other content. Otherwise, you're a booby pants, and no one wants to be a booby pants.